Welcome to Coach Cooley's weekly presser. Appreciate everyone coming out, having the opportunity to visit with Coach. Statesman coming off a 27-26 loss to the University of West Georgia. The 22nd ranked Statesman visiting the 18th ranked Wolves of West Georgia this past weekend. Back and forth contest. Statesman down 17-6 at the half, jumped back in it with a 14-point third quarter, but ultimately falling in the back and forth affair. Patrick Shegog, the leading passer and rusher for the Statesman. Statesman also continue to remain in the AFCA top 25 poll. Statesman was released today. Statesman at number 25 and going on the road this weekend to Jackson, Mississippi to take on Jackson State University, led by 8-time Pro Bowler and Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. So with that, we will bring up Coach Cooley. He'll make an opening statement about last weekend's game against West Georgia and then take any questions that you have. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate everybody being here. Man, tough one. Thought West Georgia played a really good football game. I thought it was a really good game. It's a shame we came up on the short end of that one. Had a lot of opportunities. Really proud of our players and the effort they played with. First road game in a long time, and not an easy place to play. I thought they hung in there, and made some plays in the second half to get us back in the ball game. Like I said, it's a tough one. We had our chances. I thought West Georgia obviously is a really good team. I said that a week ago. I knew that. We thought it was going to be a really good, tough, hard-fought ball game. That's what it was. It usually is when we play one another. And they just made a few more plays than we did. Obviously, we got to be better on third downs. Obviously, we got to be better early in the red zone, and we got to have a little bit more offense than what we had. We loved the fact that Patrick was so efficient, but we didn't have enough yards throwing the football. We know that. So they did a good job keeping the ball in front of them. They did a really good job tackling us in open space. We've got to be much, much better moving forward. So it's kind of where we are right now. I'm really proud of our team and the fact that nobody's heads down. I mean, they were upset, but I think we're going to bounce back. And they're young, they're resilient. Really proud of how they handled the game once it was over. Really proud of how we left the locker room there at West Georgia. Thought everybody did their part. We got back home about 3:30 in the morning on Sunday. Everybody came in, made sure our locker room was good, put up all their stuff. Those things mean a lot to me. And I told the team yesterday I was really, really proud of all that. So that being said, obviously I'll make a statement about moving forward to this game. This is going to be a tremendous challenge. I think Jackson State is not only talented, I think they're extremely well coached. I think they probably feel similar to us. They feel like they had a chance to win the game the other night at Louisiana Monroe, FBS opponent. I feel like that's a game that if they played 4 more times, they'd probably win it 4 more times. I really feel that way. I think they're that good. And, they've done an unbelievable job. Coaching staff, Coach Sanders, his staff, done an awesome job. They just got a lot of talent, a lot of speed. They're physical. It's going to be a real challenge for us. Not only dealing with that, but being in a big-time environment on Saturday, which I think is important. I'm excited about that for our players. I'm excited about that for our school. I think this was I want to thank Jackson State for playing us. They didn't have to. Dr. Robinson, Coach Sanders, all those people that were involved in that decision. It means a lot for our school to get to go play in the state capitol. And it's going to be something that our players will probably never forget. So with all that being said, we know what we got ahead of us, and it's going to take a real good effort on our part to make it a ball game on Saturday. Thank you.
Looking at back at the West Georgia game, I noticed y'all did a better job with the turnovers. I guess talk about seeing improvement in that aspect, particularly going into.
Well, yeah, I think that was a positive, Andy. I think it's a good question. I think there was a lot of other positives too. Just not panicking at halftime. We've been in those games before where it could have gotten a little bit worse. The thing that I was probably most disappointed was obviously was the penalties. We had too many penalties. Shoot, man, Patrick Shegog got an unsportsmanlike penalty in this game. I mean, I don't even have any words for that. That's the best kid in our program. I don't even know what happened, but it was just like, I think at halftime it was like 6-1. I mean, we haven't had 6 penalties all year. We had 6 penalties in the first half. We've got to do a better job of that. We got to do a better job of staying on sides, ball key, and things like that. But we were better in the turnover ratio. We did protect the ball better. And on a wet night like that, I thought we protected it overall pretty well. First play of the game, we fumbled. And to their credit, they cashed it in. But, I do think that was a positive too.
With the big kind of a game against the state opponent like Jackson State, I mean, this has got to be a very exciting time for the players. Have they started to talk a lot about it? I mean, what's kind of...
Yeah, I think we're starting to talk about it today. I think it's been in the back of everybody's minds, but I mean, we're talking more about how good they are. We're watching the tape. I mean, we know what we're looking at. So we're excited about the opportunity. I think it's good. I think a lot of these guys, I think there's a chance to have a really good crowd down there, which I think will be great for our state, both schools. So I'm excited about that. But most of our talk has been about how impressed we are with them and the way that they look on film and the product that they're putting out.
You mentioned about Shugad as far as his numbers, efficient, but I think you had mentioned earlier too, you would like to see more explosive plays, maybe big plays.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little about maybe that aspect of your offense? I know he also led the team in rushing.
Yeah.
Is that something you said you really wouldn't want to see your quarterback lead?
No, you really don't. But like I said, West Georgia had a lot to do with that. We ran a lot of zone read at them, and they made Patrick pull it, and he read it correctly most of the night, and they did a good job tackling him. So no, we don't want to have him to have to carry the load for us running like that. They limited our explosive plays. We've got to be better as a coaching staff of putting us in a position to have more explosive plays. We understand that. And a lot of that had to do with some of the conditions and some of the things that we were thinking. But I love the plan. I love both coordinators' plans going into this game. I thought we had a really good plan for West Georgia. A missed block here, a little execution thing here or there. I mean, ball slips out of Patrick's hands one time on a 3rd and 5. It's a big play. Some things you try to control everything you can, but Mother Nature is undefeated and untied. And that time I think a little Mother Nature got us, and it got their quarterback a couple times too. So I mean, everybody's playing on the same field. Had nothing to do with that. They beat us. They outplayed us. They made more plays than we did. And we've got to be better, and we all know that. We all understand that.
We talked about earlier off camera before it started, the missed extra point. What was going through your mind when that took place?
I've been in so many of those games like that through my playing career and coaching career. It's just bad mojo. It's like, man, unfortunate. The guy had been rock solid all night. He made 2 field goals. I think he'd made like his last 8 kicks or something like that going into that one. And, a lot of factors go into that. It was a pick 6. Sometimes, you always got to be ready. You got to go. And Connor's going to be a really good one here. We all know that. And Connor's been good. And his first game was not good. His second game was better. He missed an extra point. I mean, it happens. In his defense, we get a pick 6. Well, that's awesome. But man, you got to turn around and kick it. I mean, I remember I was looking at a couple offensive linemen. They're celebrating like we're kicking an extra point. Like you got to get refocused. And went out there and we missed it. It happens. I still feel good about him, obviously, and I know that it's hurting him. But I told him after the game, I said, man, if you don't make those 2 field goals early, we're not even in that position. So you keep your head up. It's football. It happens sometimes. But when it happened, I was like, man, sooner or later. And this is not. It's never good to get on that. It's just something about it. You just get that feeling. It's kind of like in sports, you just get that feeling. It's like missed free throws. They'll come back to haunt you. So, got to make kicks. Got to make extra points. We know that, but that's not what beat us. It was a collective effort.
With the field goals, I know as far as the red zone offense, you see those opportunities.
Yeah.
6 instead of 3.
No doubt. Well, I tell you what, the first trip down there, I made a call. I asked Coach Fletcher to run a play, which he did. It was not there. That was totally on me. I should have just stayed out of it and let him do what he wanted to do there, and that was me. And I appreciate Coach Fletch every now and then letting me give an idea, and he wants to go with it. And we all believed in it when we made the call, but hindsight's 2020. That kind of got us behind the chains there. They did a really good job in the red zone. We missed a cut here, missed a block there. But, man, down there in the red zone, it gets so tight. And to our credit, in the second half when we got down there, we were able to punch those in, which is what you want to do. That's what we got to continue to do. If we can get to the red zone this weekend, if we can get there, we need to try to cash it in for 7 because we're going to need as many points as possible.
You alluded to this earlier as far as the in-state schools playing one another. Can you just kind of elaborate on what that means?
Well, to me, I mean, and I want everybody to understand something. We wanted a game. And we wanted another game for our players because y'all got to realize we didn't play in 2020. Okay? So when this opportunity arose, we're not getting a dime for this, and that's okay. We just wanted a game. And for Jackson State to say, we'll play you, we appreciate that, because, look, this is a game we can leave day of. Our fans can get there very easily. We have a lot of fans in Jackson. I think it gives people a lot to talk about, when you're Jackson State alumni, you're Delta State alumni, and people are talking about it, at offices or throughout on social media. They're all talking about it. I think that's great for our state. This is about our kids in the state of Mississippi, and for us not to be able to play a game in 2020 and for them to say, hey, man, come on down here, we'd love to play you, that means a lot to us to let us go into there, and it means a lot to our players. Otherwise, okay, we'd have played 10 games this year. All right, well, people say, well, yeah, you got West Florida next week and then you got Valdosta. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? Cooley, you're crazy. Yeah, maybe I am. I'm crazy about my players. I am. I want them a chance to play. I mean, Coach Kennison even looked at me like, really? You want to go do that? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, let's go play. I mean, it's all about it. I think our players need to go see that. And it's another chance for us to play college football. And those are precious. And when you get a whole season taken away from you, like we did, man, if we could play 13 this year, we're going to play 13. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. And, I don't know. We're excited about it. It's going to be a challenge. We all know that. But, man, that's what Delta State's all about. We all about facing challenges and doing things. I mean, look at this 4-game stretch we're on that we're in the middle of. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, it's not going to be easy. So, it is what it is. Go play ball,
Do you have the mentality you're playing maybe with house money? You're the Division II school playing against the bigger.
Well, see, that's what I was alluding to. I think that's why you gotta understand Dr. Robinson and Coach Sanders and that entire organization at Jackson State saying, I mean, because really from the outside looking in, they've got nothing to gain from this. It's like if they beat us, yeah, well, you're supposed to. So I've been a part of some of those in my life. It is what it is. But I just appreciate. I think they understand it. It's a game. It's an in-state game. It's a classic. That's awesome. And I just think it's going to be a big deal. And I think we're privileged and honored to be a part of it. We just want to go in there and play, put our best foot forward, represent our university the right way. We want to compete, and we want to try to play with them as long as we can, and that's kind of the mission going in, and it's going to be very difficult because, like I said, they're well coached. They're very multiple on defense. Offensively, they got weapons everywhere. I think the quarterback is a really good football player, and he's got a lot of weapons at his disposal. I think the offensive line is massive. Defensively, it's just they are really, really good. So we know what's in front of us. I mean, it doesn't take long. Just put the tape on. Anything else, guys? Man, I really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, two-way street. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Have a great day.